Yo, what's up, man? Hope y'all been a blessed one, man. We back with another one. This one right here, we got the tragic story of Shawty Low. Let's get into this one right here, man. I did, right? Did.
Shawty Lo is a Southern rap legend who tragically died in 2016. Most fans have no idea how wild his story really is. So today we're breaking down how he went from running the drug game in Atlanta and getting arrested almost 30 times to making platinum records, then mysteriously dying just a week after he buried his own dad. Shawty Lo came up on the west side of Atlanta in the Bowen Homes projects. There's a lot of crazy hoods in Atlanta, but the Bowen Homes is one of the worst in the city. Back in the 80s, 4 kids and a school teacher were killed after a water boiler exploded in the school, and rumors started flying that it was a serial killer who did it. When Shawty Lo was a kid, there was a serial killer in Atlanta who allegedly killed over 30 people, and a lot of them were kids. Eventually, they booked a dude named Wayne Williams for some of the murders, and rumors say he made the boiler in the school explode. Later, the news broke that it was just because of bad maintenance, but that wasn't the only tragedy in the Bowen Homes. When the Bowen Homes were built back in the 60s, it was a good place to live, but by the time Shawty Lo was coming up, the whole neighborhood was run by drug dealers. There was crime and violence everywhere, and in between June 2007 and January 2008, there were over 168 violent crimes. Shawty Lo's mom was addicted to drugs his whole life, and his dad wasn't around, so Shawty Lo moved in with his grandma and was raised by her in the projects. Shawty Lo's grandma saw her own kids get trapped by the streets and didn't want Shawty Lo to go down the same path. She kept him out of the trenches for a while, but when she tragically passed away from cancer when he was 17, Shawty Lo hopped off the porch and got active. Shawty's family was always struggling when he was a kid, and he saw the dope dealers in the neighborhood driving nice cars and flashing cash. He wanted to be like the dealers he saw in Bankhead, but Shawty didn't start out moving weight. When his grandma died, Shawty Lo went wild and started robbing people. Robbing can get you in trouble a lot faster than selling drugs, and Shawty Lo ended up going to prison the same year he got active in the streets. He realized it was time to switch up how he was moving, so when Shawty Lo came home, he decided to start pushing weight. Shawty Lo had to start from the bottom, and at first, he wasn't selling anything big. He knew how to run the dope game though, and after a few years, he was already one of the biggest dealers in Atlanta. After he blew up in the rap game, Shawty Lo admitted that he was moving heavy weight, and he wasn't the only one who said that.
I don't like to brag on my whole life, you know what I'm saying? But I was a large drug dealer in the streets. And, you know, I came from nothing. My mom was going through it, my dad was there as well. So it was, you know, what I had to do to get my money, to get my food, you know what I'm saying, to feed my guys to be with me.
After Shawty Lo tragically died in 2016, dudes from Atlanta who really knew what was going on in the streets said that Shawty Lo was the last dude who really lived the life he rapped about.
And I give the respect, may he rest in peace. And I want y'all to try to tell me what rapper from Atlanta do you think really lived the street life and rapped about it from Atlanta?
Gucci.
Shawty Lo, that's the nigga that rap
Gucci.
and actually lived that life.
Shawty Lo wasn't just buying from big dealers in Atlanta and flipping the product in his own neighborhood. He established a connection with some Colombians down in Miami and started bringing the weight up from there. It's not clear how much he was really selling, but rumors say that Shawty Lo is one of the biggest dealers in the city. Getting in the streets made him rich, but Shawty Lo was having trouble avoiding the cops. By the time he made it into the rap game, he'd already been arrested 28 times. Eventually, he decided he needed to switch it up and leave the streets behind, and that's when Shawty Lo started making music. Back in 2003, Shawty Lo started a rap crew called Down for Life, aka D4L, with his homies Fabo, Mook B, and Stoney. Even though he had never been involved with the music industry, Shawty Lo knew from the jump that he wanted to be his own boss. So instead of going around looking for a deal and paying for time in the booth, he made a label with his own money and even built a studio for all his artists to record at. D4L wasn't recording a lot of music at first though, and Shawty Lo ended up going back to jail for a while. But while he was locked up, the rest of the crew made a track that put him on the map and changed the entire industry. One night while Shawty Lo was locked up, his homie Fabo went to the Babe strip club in Atlanta and brought a couple women back to the studio with him. He hopped in the booth and was just freestyling. Then he grabbed a piece of Laffy Taffy candy out of his pocket, and that actually changed everything. Fabo started writing the track Laffy Taffy that night after seeing the candy, and it became one of the biggest rap hits of all time. The next morning, Fabo got the rest of the crew together in the studio to record the track. They sent the song to Shawty Lo while he was locked up, and at first Shawty Lo hated the idea, and Shawty wasn't the only one who hated it in the group. Fabo came up with the song by himself, but he wasn't rocking with it either. D4L was still doing shows in clubs all around Atlanta though, and they decided to try performing Laffy Taffy for the fans. And that's when they realized how big of a hit it was gonna be. D4L already had some tracks out, like Bet You Can't Do It Like Me, but Laffy Taffy took over. While the record was taking off, Shawty Lo didn't even know how big it was. At the time, he was still locked up and facing 20 to 40 years on 3 different cases. But Shawty Lo caught a lucky break and ended up only getting a year for each charge, and the sentences would run at the same time. So he was able to get out in time to see D4L taking off in the rap game. Shawty Lo came home, and D4L dropped their debut album, and Laffy Taffy was the lead single for the record. It ran up crazy numbers, #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, and basically overnight, D4L became the hottest rap crew in the game. Radio stations were playing the track on repeat, and it inspired a whole new wave of Southern hip-hop. D4L went 3 times platinum with the record, and in 2007, Laffy Taffy broke a world record for being the most downloaded song in the history of music. Shawty Lo followed it up by dropping his first solo single, They Know, in 2008, which helped him win Rookie of the Year at the BET Awards that year. D4L basically created the snap rap wave.
His award said MySpace Rookie of the Year. MySpace Music Rookie of the Year, nigga. MySpace, motherfucker. That's like 2005, 2006. Jesus.
Which paved the way for dudes like Soulja Boy who blew up after them. Fans were loving Laffy Taffy, but a lot of people thought
the 2 groups it was Franchise Boys and Laffy Taffy. I mean, I said Laffy Taffy. Franchise Boys and D4L, man. Them was the 2 groups that created that wave for that snapping music. I guess that's what they call it. Crank That Batman, all that type of shit that came after Lean With It, Rock With It, and this song. That shit crazy, man. That was a huge wave. And it's crazy because that dancing shit's still going on till this day. Just new dances, man. Still going on.
D4L was hurting the rap game. Ghostface Killer dissed him on the track The Champ and raps, "My arts is crafty darts. Why y'all stuck on Laffy Taffy? Wondering how did y'all niggas get past me? I've been doing this before Nas dropped the nasty. My wallows did 'em up, them bricks I stand 'em up. My raps y'all bit 'em up, for that now stick 'em up."
Damn.
And Nas allegedly dissed D4L on the track Hip Hop Is Dead when he rapped, "Yeah, niggas smoke, laugh, party, and die in the same corner. Get cash, live fast, body the man's mama. And if hip hop should die before I wake, I'll put an extended clip and body him all day. Roll to every station, wreck the DJ." A lot of old school dudes weren't rocking D4L style. Back in
See, that's crazy because the OGs is never, look, you see that? The OGs was never acceptive. You see the OGs, and you gotta think about it, it's like 2005, 2006. The OGs didn't even accept that new shit. And then when Uzi and them came along, the same OGs that didn't accept the snapping music didn't accept that shit, the mumble music. Ain't that crazy? The OGs don't like that shit. They don't like none of that new shit. It's always the ones who started hip hop, like Wu-Tang and them and Nas and all, you know what I'm saying? The old heads. They was never accepting, nigga.
the day, rap was all about lyric and wordplay. But D4L was making party music that made people want to dance. And while some rappers were hating on him, the fans loved D4L and the snap wave. At first, D4L was just Shawty Lo, Fabo, Stoney, and Mook B. But then it became a massive group. At one point, there were over 100 dudes repping D4L. And what made the situation even crazier is that a lot of them came from rival hoods in Atlanta. According to Fabo,
probably one of the reasons why that group was able to connect, you know, the way we was, because we're from 5 different hoods.
Oh, okay. And, was there tension?
It was always tension. It was always tension because, you know, everybody done lost somebody, you know,
but
on every
Shawty Lo
side.
made sure that
Shawty Lo he was Godfather.
D4L blew up out of nowhere and took over the rap game. And that's why nobody expected what happened next. Right after they dropped their debut album, the crew decided to split up, and Shawty Lo started his solo career. Shawty Lo already had a lot of connections in the Atlanta rap scene. He was close homies with Gucci Mane, and after Shawty Lo left D4L, they started working together more and more. Years later, Gucci said in an interview with Charlamagne the God that Shawty Lo was his real partner, and their bond went deeper than music.
Me and Shawty Lo, we just like real friends. As soon as we met, we had just like we just started being partners from that day. And I think it's just because of who he was and who I was. At our core, we just was good people, and even though we was in the music industry, we had a lot of the same values for us in the streets and being loyal and what we ain't gonna do and what we, what we thought was like unacceptable. So that was our bond. Like we never rubbed each other the wrong way, man. We had like the best friendship.
Even though they didn't grow up together, they shared a lot of the same morals when it came to the streets and the music industry. So they hit it off right away and made a lot of great music together. Shawty Lo already had a name in the industry because of D4L, but what really put him on the map was his legendary beef with T.I. T.I. is one of the biggest rappers to ever make it out of Atlanta. He came up repping Bankhead just like Shawty Lo and was active in the streets too. T.I. started selling drugs when he was a kid, and by the time he was 14, he'd already been arrested a few times. Shawty Lo was already a grown man by the time he started rapping, but T.I. had been making rhymes since he was 8 years old. Back in '96, he linked up with his homie Big Country King and started selling mixtapes out of the trunk of a car. It took T.I. a few years to get his name buzzing in the industry, but in 2009,
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Like niggas like Tip was making. Did he say nine? Hold on. What year you said before I started talking shit?
He linked up with his homie. Started rapping, but T.I. had been making rhymes since he was 8 years old. Back in '96.
Yeah, look, that's crazy. Like rappers like Tip, Lil Boosie, we already know about Lil Wayne, but like Lil Boosie been rapping since like 1990. You know what I'm saying? 1997. Like Tip, 1996. Like them niggas really been rapping for a long fucking time, but got popping like early 2000s. Damn.
Linked up with his homie Big Country King and started selling mixtapes out of the trunk of a car. It took T.I. a few years to get his name buzzing in the industry, but in 2009, he shot his first video for the track I'm Serious. Most of the whips in the video were borrowed from Shawty Lo, and you can even see Shawty Lo walking by T.I. at one point in the video. Back then, everything was cool with Shawty Lo and T.I., but that all changed after Shawty Lo started his own career. By the time Shawty Lo left D4L and wanted to make his own music, T.I. was already one of the biggest southern rappers in the game. He had #1 hits, sold millions of records, and even picked up a couple of Grammys. T.I. always claimed to be tapped in with the streets though, and Shawty Lo hit him up to work on a track together. According to reports, T.I. turned Shawty Lo down, and that's what sparked the whole beef. Shawty Lo had helped T.I. out back in the day with his music video, but after he blew up, T.I. acted like he didn't even know who Shawty Lo was. Shawty Lo was pressed about how the situation went down, so he started airing T.I. out. About a year after the beef popped off, T.I. had been arrested just a few hours before he was supposed to perform at the BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta. The feds rolled through and hit T.I. with charges.
Hey, when this happened to Tip, when we was young like this, she was like, whoa, what the fuck? Damn, nigga doing with all them goddamn guns. That shit was like the biggest shit in hip hop around that time, man. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Like, I'm like Tip moving militant, like damn.
Charges for possession of 3 unregistered machine guns and 2 silencers, and possession of firearms by convicted felons. According to reports, T.I. tried to buy the guns from someone who was working with the feds. It was a tough situation for T.I. He was already a felon with a lot of arrests on his record, and he was facing 10 years for the new charges. But after T.I. pleaded guilty, fans were shocked because he only got hit with the 1-year sentence and ended up only serving a few months in prison. T.I. serving a few months trying to buy machine guns was sketchy, and Shawty Lo started dissing him over the situation. Shawty Lo told the interviewer that the only way to beat a Fed case like that is if you talk.
Tip caught all kind of guns, convicted felons. Remember serving? Go serve a year later on. You can't buy your way out the Fed.
Shawty Lo got a lot of attention.
I'm telling you. I think Tip told.
For calling out T.I., but it actually turns out that T.I. might have sent the first shot. In 2007, T.I. dropped the track Big Shit Poppin' and allegedly took a shot at Shawty Lo when he rapped, "Do it to the maximum, take it while you asking them. Don't listen to them suckers when they say you too irrational. See, I said I was king, and them lames started laughing. Them same suckers now want the king on a track with him." After T.I. came home, he had an interview with MTV and talked about the Shawty Lo situation. T.I. said he would never use someone else's name for clout like that.
I mean, I never looked to gain acknowledgement or recognition by mentioning anyone else's name. If it was an issue with me and another person, it was an issue with me and another person. It wasn't a publicity stunt or a marketing tool.
But when DJ Sway asked him if Shawty Lo was his competition, T.I. just laughed it off.
You see it as competition? You don't take it personally.
I'm sorry.
Then Shawty Lo started airing out T.I. for not being from the west side of Atlanta like he claimed to be. T.I. always rep Bankhead, but Shawty Lo called cap on the story and said nobody in Bankhead knew T.I. Then Shawty Lo dropped the track Dun Dun and raps, I've done it all, I've done it all. Who mentioned Bankhead? Didn't acknowledge me. What you blind? Need some glasses to see? And yeah, I'm hot. Nigga, they say I'm burning up. Me the rare nigga, I'm finna turn it up. Add the fire to the flame. Who mentioned Bankhead? Didn't say my name. Then he dropped the catchiest diss on T.I. yet and rap. Nigga said he from the west side? Well, goddamn, it must be two sides. Shawty Lo even made a video where he drove around Bankhead asking people if they knew T.I.
How y'all seen T.I.? Is he from Bankhead?
Man, we ain't seen no motherfucker wearing these motherfucking bricks, man. For real, man.
He claims, you know the man claims, I'm come from one hood to the other hood.
Man, we already know who you be, Shawty Lo, baby, man. Why you say you pull up in that Bankhead, they already know, man. They already know who you motherfucker be, man.
T.I. was one of the biggest rappers in the game at the time, so getting a street cred check like that wasn't a good look. Then, T.I. clapped back and filmed a music video for a diss track called What's Up, What's Happening.
And Shawty Lo had the ups. I'm like, damn, Tip. I'm like, damn, that little light-skinned nigga lying. But when he took that lawn chair and went in front of the Born Home sign, I said, nah, that's real.
Happening in the Bowen Homes area of Bankhead. It was a savage record, and T.I. called out Shawty Lo with lines like, I bet that would he get a show? Now that's a damn shame. I guess that's what he hating for. Boy, you so damn lame. You click the same, just a bunch of walking shit stains. Disgrace the A, you give the city such a bad name. Back in the day, Shawty Lo and T.I. were cool, so T.I. aired Shawty Lo out for switching up on him when he raps, but still I hear you loud and clear on your little song. Go on, get your dissing while the king gone. Your self-esteem gone, cause I'm back now. Let's see if we can't teach these niggas how to act now. You're kissing ass then, you jumping back now. I check your ass then, I shut your ass down. T.I. also responded to Shawty Lo going around Bankhead asking if anyone knew who he was and rapped, hey, would I care about who you asking, saying they ain't heard of me? I'm certified. Certainly, your videos ain't hurting me. I still ride with the windows rolled down, all around the A-town like it's finna go down. Then, go on, get yourself high. Cause I yelled Bankhead and you felt left out. I ain't mention your name, is that what all this about? T.I. also allegedly dissed Shawty Lo on the track No Matter What when he rapped, set the standard in Atlanta, how to get it. So you up and coming rappers want to dish, just kill it. I'm officially the realest, point blank period. Whether I still live in the hood or just visit, whatever you can do in the hood, I done did it. That's why the dope boys and the misfits feel it. They still his city, long as Tip living. The beef was starting to really heat up, but nobody knew it was about to get violent. In November 2008, T.I. and Shawty Lo were both at the Dirty Awards in Atlanta. Their crews had some tension when they spotted each other at the show, but at first everything was cool. Nobody was doing anything too disrespectful, but then Shawty Lo hit the stage and performed his T.I. diss track, Dun Dun. According to reports, dudes from T.I.'s crew started throwing chairs on stage and got the show shut down for a minute. While the show was stopped, T.I. and Shawty Lo allegedly met up backstage and squashed the beef, but it wasn't over yet. When the show started back up again, T.I. hit the stage and allegedly dissed Shawty Lo in front of everyone. That's when the whole situation popped off and the crew started throwing hands. The cops rushed in to break it up, but Shawty Lo and T.I.'s crews were going so wild that the police had to use pepper spray and Shawty Lo ended up getting blasted in the face with it. After the fight at the Dirty Awards, the beef with Shawty Lo and T.I. was the biggest thing going on in the rap game. Fans thought it was only going to get worse from there, but then Shawty Lo and T.I. linked up to squash the beef and performed together at T.I.'s club in Atlanta. Shawty Lo's beef with T.I. was the biggest moment of his career. He had everyone's eyes on him at the time, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to keep the momentum up after the beef was squashed. Shawty Lo got back in the booth and was working on new music, but he kept delaying his second album and the rap game was moving on without him. Shawty Lo was still dropping mixtapes, but none of them made a lot of noise in the industry. Shawty Lo did get another big break in 2011 when the news broke that he signed a new deal with 50 Cent's G-Unit record label. 50 Cent didn't sign Shawty Lo as a rapper though. Instead, 50 gave D4L a deal on G-Unit and was gonna let Shawty Lo manage the label. Shawty Lo dropped a few mixtapes on the new deal, but he still never got the buzz back that he had before. Shawty Lo was out of the spotlight for a few years, but then he made headlines again for causing some more controversy. Shawty Lo had his first kid when he was 17 years old, and he ended up having 11 kids with 10 different women. It's not clear how it all got started, but in 2012, the news broke that the Oxygen TV network was making a show about Shawty Lo called All My Baby's Mamas. The idea was to follow Shawty Lo and his baby mamas with a bunch of cameras and just record all the drama going on. But when the show was announced, people freaked out and started telling Oxygen they needed to cancel the show. The response was so negative that Oxygen didn't have a choice, so they pulled it from the channel before the first episode even came out. After the show was canceled, Shawty Lo just disappeared from the spotlight again. He was still making music and doing shows, but outside of Atlanta, nobody's really talking about him. Shawty Lo never tried to take over the rap industry though. He could have still kept his foot on the gas early in his career and stayed in the spotlight, but by the time he hopped in the booth, he was already a grown man and didn't need to prove himself to anybody. People who knew him said that Shawty Lo was always just focused on raising his kids, giving back to the community, and having a good life. He was always helping people out in Bankhead. He paid people's rent, electricity bills, and anything else they needed. People in Atlanta loved Shawty Lo, and his tragic death in 2016 was a massive loss for the whole city. On September 21st, 2016, Shawty Lo was partying with his homies at the Blue Flame Lounge strip club. It was a normal chill night, and nobody expected what was about to happen next. Shawty Lo left the club at around 2 in the morning and had 2 girls in his whip. They started driving down the highway, and apparently, Shawty Lo was really pushing it. He was driving his Audi A7, and the women who were with him later said that they asked Shawty Lo to slow down. Apparently, he didn't listen though, and Shawty Lo ended up losing control and driving over a guardrail. He was thrown from the whip after it hit 2 trees, and by the time an ambulance rode up to the scene, Shawty Lo was already dead. What makes the situation really weird is that Shawty Lo had a bunch of cash on him, but the first responders let the women take all of it off of Shawty Lo's body. After the news broke that the women had taken the cash, rumors started flying around and something sketchy went down. Shawty Lo's own dad had been buried about a week before, and Shawty Lo wrote the track Letter to My Father to honor him. Some fans thought both of them dying like that was weird, but there's no evidence that anything sketchy actually happened. It looks like Shawty Lo was just driving too fast without a seatbelt and was tragically killed too soon, and the women who were with him just grabbed some free money and dipped. Shawty Lo was a legend in Atlanta, and basically the whole city started shouting him out after he died. After the news broke, T.I. hopped on Instagram and gave Shawty Lo his flowers too. Their beef was all over the news back in the day, but T.I. said he always had a ton of respect for Shawty Lo, even when—
I forgot he did pass away from a car crash, so disregard all that other bullshit I'm talking about that got him out the way. I forgot he did pass away in an accident.
When they were sending shots back and forth. T.I. was the only one who paid their respects to the Atlanta legend. After the news broke, Metro Boomin tweeted, "Long live the king of Bankhead," with a photo of him, Shawty Lo, Future, and Young Scooter in the studio. Future also tweeted, "Legends never die, Shawty Lo forever." Even Lil Yachty paid his respects and tweeted, "RIP Shawty Lo," along with an interview clip where Shawty Lo was giving him his flowers. His homie Gucci Mane also reacted to the news, tweeting, "Damn it, man, hashtag RIP Shawty Lo." Without Shawty Lo and D4L, the entire rap game in Atlanta would be different today. He paved the way for a ton of new artists to break into the industry, but unfortunately, he isn't around to see how big his impact really was.
Alright, man, we're ready to wrap this one up, man. Y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. We'll have a blessed one. See y'all on the next video.